All right, adventurers, get ready because today we are going deep into one of D&D's most infamous settings.
Infamous is right.
Castle Greyhawk.
Yeah,
And we are talking the original 1988 source book.
That's right.
WG7, Castle Greyhawk.
Yep.
A sprawling walled compound with 2 towers in the Citadel Union and a whole lot more weirdness waiting to be unearthed.
Oh, yeah, this one is a doozy.
So this is a classic module for a reason.
It really is a fascinating glimpse into early D&D design when things were, well, a bit less structured.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot more experimental.
Yeah, a lot looser.
For sure.
So what jumps out at you when you first crack open this book?
The density of it. I mean, over 150 NPCs crammed into this castle, each with their own quirks and motivations.
Wow.
It is a DM's dream or nightmare, depending on how you look at it.
Right, or maybe both.
Maybe both.
At the same time.
For sure.
And this module does not pull any punches.
No, it does not.
It tells you straight up that most of these NPCs are going to be higher level than the players.
Oh.
And they're going to be incredibly snooty.
Incredibly.
Like, I'm too good for you, peasant levels of snooty.
Yeah, which is such a fascinating design choice, right?
No.
Imagine trying to pull that off in a 5th edition campaign.
Oh my gosh.
The players would revolt.
They would be so mad.
Wait, I just saved the village from a dragon and the shopkeeper won't even give me the time of day.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
It speaks to a different approach to world building and player interaction.
Absolutely.
Back then, it seems like the emphasis was on challenging the players at every turn, even in social situations.
Yeah, it's true. So it's less about catering to the players.
Right.
And more about throwing curveballs at them.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
But it's also about creating a world that feels lived in.
Right.
With characters who have their own agendas and aren't necessarily going to bend over backwards for a bunch of wandering adventurers.
Right. So it's a world where respect is earned.
Yeah.
It's not given.
For sure.
I can dig it. So this castle, it's more than just a dungeon crawl.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bustling hub with shops, taverns, training facilities.
Yep.
Even luxury amenities.
Oh, yeah. Think of it like a medieval metropolis for adventurers.
Okay.
A place where they can restock, train, gather information.
Yeah.
And maybe even indulge in some high-stakes gambling.
Sounds like my kind of town.
Right.
Where do we even begin exploring this sprawling complex?
Well, let's start with one of the most iconic structures.
Okay.
The Tower of Wizardry.
Oh, the name alone is giving me chills.
Right.
What's the deal with this tower?
So each floor has a similar layout.
Okay.
Central room, spiral staircase.
Okay.
2 flanking rooms.
Gotcha.
But it's the details that make it interesting.
Okay.
For instance, tucked into a crevice near each door in the central room, you will find an emergency scroll.
Emergency scroll, what kind of magic are we talking about here?
Anti-magic shell.
Ooh!
Think about the implications of that in a 5th edition campaign.
Okay, yeah.
You could use it to escape a magical trap.
Sure.
But you'd also be plunging the entire floor into darkness.
Oh, no.
Disabling any continual light spells.
Okay.
And probably ticking off the wizards who live there.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy about that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The module mentions that they charge a hefty fee for replacing the scrolls.
Of course they do.
And restarting any experiments that were disrupted.
Yeah.
So using one of these scrolls is a decision with both tactical and financial consequences.
That's a risky move.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got emergency scrolls hidden in the walls.
Yeah.
What else is lurking in this Tower of Wizardry?
Well, on the 2nd floor, you'll find a vast common library.
Okay.
Think dusty tomes, forbidden knowledge.
Ooh.
And a magical book that has a mind of its own.
A magical book with a mind of its own.
It's called the Vacuous Grimoire.
Okay.
And it randomly moves around the library.
It moves around like it teleports.
Yes, just randomly.
Oh, wow.
Imagine the possibilities for a 5th edition campaign. A player spends days researching a particular topic, only to find that the book they need has vanished.
Oh, no.
Replaced by something completely different.
That's a fun little wrinkle.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got scrolls of anti-magic shell.
Right.
And a teleporting grimoire.
Uh-huh.
What other surprises await us in this tower?
Let's head up to the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Where things take a decidedly more dangerous turn.
Okay.
It's the headquarters of the Assassin's Guild.
An Assassin's Guild in a wizard's tower.
Yeah, it's early D&D where logic sometimes takes a backseat to creativity.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
It makes for a great encounter location, though.
Okay.
Imagine your players infiltrating this guild,
Yeah.
trying to gather information, or maybe even taking on a contract themselves.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Who's the big boss of this guild?
The chief assassin is a colorful fellow named Castle.
Hmm?
He's well-equipped, too, with a +3 short sword and a ring of protection +4.
Whoa.
Not someone you want to mess with.
Yeah, he sounds tough.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a boss fight waiting to happen.
What about the other floors?
Yeah, well, the 4th floor is home to Cardoon the magic user,
Okay.
a go-to guy for spell training.
Okay.
But he's got a bit of an attitude, though.
Oh, really?
And he absolutely refuses to teach the charm person spell.
Oh, what? Why?
Makes you wonder what kind of bad experience he had with that one.
Maybe he got his heart broken by a charming bard.
Maybe so.
Okay, what about the 6th floor?
That's where you'll find Pinocchio the illusionist.
Okay.
He's got a rather specific preference for gnome illusionists.
Or gnomes, okay.
He even offers them discounted training rates.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a small detail,
Yeah.
but it adds a layer of depth to his character.
It does.
Makes you wonder why he has this affinity for gnomes.
Yeah.
Is it a personal connection, a philosophical belief,
Right.
or just a quirky personality trait?
We need more.
It's up to the DM to decide.
Yeah.
But it's these little details that make Castle Greyhawk so much fun to explore.
Hey everyone, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a deep dive.
Good advice.
And if you are enjoying this wild ride through Castle Greyhawk, leave a comment below.
Yeah.
Let us know your favorite encounter or share a story about your own experiences with this classic module.
We want to hear from you.
Oh, and be sure to check the video description for a link to a PDF of the book.
Yes, do that.
Now back to the show.
Okay, so we've explored the Tower of Wizardry with its scrolls, grimoires, and assassins.
Yep.
What other intriguing locations await us in this castle?
Well, no exploration of Castle Greyhawk would be complete without a visit to the Citadel Union,
Okay.
the heart of the castle.
Citadel Union, what's that all about? Give us the lowdown.
It's a 2-level building,
Okay.
above and below ground,
Okay.
and it houses everything from barracks
Mm-hmm.
to training facilities to a gaming hall.
Ooh, a gaming hall.
Yeah, it's where adventurers can hone their skills, make some coin, and maybe even find trouble.
I like it already. What kind of training are we talking about here? Is it like a medieval boot camp?
The module mentions a combat training facility run by 4 high-level NPCs,
Okay.
each with their own alignment and fighting style.
Okay.
Imagine the role-playing possibilities for a 5th edition campaign.
Yeah.
Your players could train under a lawful good paladin, a chaotic neutral rogue,
Okay.
a neutral evil mage, or a lawful evil fighter.
Wow. That's quite the variety.
Right.
Yeah.
Each one would offer a unique perspective on combat and strategy.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we've got barracks, training facilities, a gaming hall. Anything else that stands out in this Citadel Union?
Well, there's one particularly memorable feature.
Okay.
A teleport square located in the barracks.
A teleport square. Sounds convenient.
Yeah, but that's the catch.
What do you mean?
It's supposed to teleport guards to the 5th floor of the Tower of Wizardry.
Okay.
But the rhyme that triggers the teleport is a bit unreliable.
Unreliable.
It often misfires, sending the guards to random locations within the castle. Sometimes they end up in the middle of a banquet. Other times they materialize in the dungeons.
That's a problem.
Yeah, the module even mentions that some guards have starved to death
Oh my God.
because the teleport is one way,
Uh-huh.
and the door to the 5th floor of the Tower of Wizardry is locked from below.
That's dark.
Yeah, that's a pretty dark detail for a supposedly lighthearted dungeon crawl.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've explored the Tower of Wizardry and the Citadel Union.
Uh-huh.
What other architectural marvels does Castle Greyhawk have in store for us?
Well, there's one more tower we need to visit,
Okay.
the Sanctum.
The Sanctum. What's so special about this tower?
It's the private tower of the castle's ruler,
Okay.
the Herzog,
All right.
and it's designed with a rather unique layout.
Unique how?
Each room is shaped like a pie slice.
Pie slice.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
What's the reasoning behind that?
The module doesn't say,
Okay.
but it does mention that each room is lit by a ceramic frog emitting continual light.
A ceramic frog. Okay.
And get this, the frogs are permanently glued in place.
Permanently glued, like they can't be removed.
Nope.
Wow.
Talk about commitment to interior design.
I know.
Right, it's those little details that make Castle Greyhawk so memorable.
So we've got pie-shaped rooms.
Yeah.
And glued-down frogs.
Yep.
Anything else that makes the sanctum stand out?
Well, one of the rooms is occupied by a rather interesting group of adventurers. Remember those snooty NPCs we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Well, this group embodies that attitude to the extreme.
Oh, no, not another band of arrogant adventurers.
Oh, yeah.
What makes these guys so special?
Their backstory.
Okay.
They were once a powerful adventuring party,
Uh-huh.
but they suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of some trolls.
Trolls.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, right. Well, they managed to survive the encounter,
Okay.
but they were forced to undergo reincarnation.
Okay.
And let's just say it didn't go quite as planned.
Reincarnation gone wrong. I am intrigued. Give me the details.
The wizard Nesselrode was reincarnated as a badger.
A badger?
Can you imagine trying to cast spells with those tiny paws?
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
That's so sad.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the party? Did they fare any better?
The druid Ledurt was reduced to 3rd level
Oh no.
after an encounter with wights.
Okay.
He's now obsessed with the dungeons beneath the castle,
Oh.
hoping to make a fortune and regain his lost power.
Okay, so we got a badger wizard and a down on his luck druid.
Mm-hmm.
What about the other members of this motley crew?
The module doesn't give us much information about them,
Okay.
but it does hint that they're all equally eccentric and dysfunctional.
Okay. They sound like they'd be a blast to roleplay in a 5th edition campaign.
Yeah.
They could be rivals to the player characters, quest givers, or even reluctant allies.
The possibilities are endless.
Okay, so we've met the Sanctum's most intriguing residents.
Uh-huh.
What about the Herzog himself? Does he ever leave his pie-shaped palace?
The module doesn't give us much information about him, but it does mention that he has a penchant for unusual decorations.
Unusual how?
Think taxidermied owl bears,
Okay.
furniture made from giant spider silk, and a collection of shrunken heads.
Sounds like my kind of interior decorator.
It's up to the DM to flesh out his personality and motivations.
Okay.
Is he a benevolent ruler?
Okay.
A scheming power player?
I'm just a collector of oddities.
The mystery deepens.
Okay, we've explored the 3 towers of Castle Greyhawk,
Yeah.
the Tower of Wizardry, the Citadel Union,
Right.
and the Sanctum.
Yes.
But something tells me we've only scratched the surface of this sprawling complex.
You're absolutely right.
Oh boy.
Beneath the castle lies a labyrinth of dungeons,
Ooh,
each more bizarre and dangerous than the last.
dungeons, you say?
Oh, yeah.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Let's delve into the depths of Castle Greyhawk
Okay.
and see what horrors await.
First up, we have Xando's Dungeon,
Okay.
a for-profit zoo and dungeon attraction that's gone horribly wrong.
Xando's Dungeon. Sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay, I'm hooked. Give me the highlights.
Yeah, for starters, we have horizontal jet-propelled piercers
Ah.
in Area 3.
Horizontal jet-propelled piercers. What in the 9 hells are those?
They're essentially living projectiles that shoot out of the walls,
Okay.
powered by methane and capable of adjusting their trajectory mid-flight.
So they're like little rockets.
Yeah, living rockets.
Oh.
Imagine the chaos they could unleash in a crowded dungeon corridor.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare to DM.
It could be.
Okay, what else is on the menu in Xando's Dungeon of Doom?
Let's move on to Area 6, where we encounter the Leakers.
Leakers. What do they leak?
So they're a unique type of shrieker,
Okay.
but instead of emitting sound,
Uh-huh.
they produce glowing sap.
Glowing sap.
Yeah, it's a clever twist on dungeon lighting,
Okay.
creating an eerie and otherworldly atmosphere.
Okay, I'm starting to get a sense of Xando's
Yeah,
unique design aesthetic.
yeah. His taste is a little questionable.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
What other surprises await us in this dungeon?
Well, in Area 8, we have a rather memorable encounter with some sharks.
Sharks in a dungeon.
Oh, yeah. Fando thought it'd be a great addition to his menagerie.
Okay, but how did they get there?
Well, that's the thing.
Okay.
He underestimated their agility in shallow water.
So they can move around
Oh, yeah.
in the dungeon.
The module suggests having them circle the players menacingly,
Oh, wow.
even launching themselves out of their pool if provoked.
Wow, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it's a fun challenge for a party of low-level adventurers.
Okay.
And in Area 10, we meet Howard, the Eye of the Shallows.
Howard. What kind of creature is Howard?
He's essentially an Eye of the Deep,
Okay.
but with a more playful personality.
Okay.
The module describes him as dolphin-like, splashing around and nudging the players with his tentacles.
So he's more of a nuisance than a threat.
Exactly.
Okay.
But he could still provide a good scare. for an unsuspecting party.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got projectile piercers,
Uh-huh.
glowing shriekers,
Yep.
acrobatic sharks,
Right.
and a playful eye of the deep.
Yeah.
What else is on the menu in this Dungeon of Delights?
Let's head to Area 16,
Okay.
where we encounter a giant, two-headed giant named Bert and Jimmy.
Bert and Jimmy.
Bert and Jimmy.
A two-headed giant. Talk about a classic D&D monster.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But these guys are a bit different.
How so?
They're not particularly bright,
Okay.
and they're constantly arguing with each other.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the module suggests playing up their dim-witted nature,
Okay.
having them stumble around and accidentally attack each other.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it could be a hilarious encounter for a party of clever players.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
Okay, I'm starting to see why this module is considered a classic.
yeah,
It's a wild mix of danger humor and just plain weirdness.
exactly.
Well, before we descend further into the depths of Xando's dungeon,
Yep.
let's pause for a moment.
Hey, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a deep dive.
Good advice.
And if you are enjoying this wild ride through Castle Greyhawk,
Yes.
leave a comment below.
Let us know.
Let us know your favorite encounter or share a story about your own experiences with this classic module.
Yes, please do.
Oh, and be sure to check the video description for a link to a PDF of the book.
It's down there.
Now back to the show.
Okay, we're back in the depths of Xando's dungeon. Where were we?
We were about to descend to level 2,
Okay.
where things take a decidedly culinary turn.
Culinary. What do you mean?
This level is dedicated to preparing for a monster banquet.
Okay.
And guess what?
What?
The players have been mistaken for help.
Oh, no. Sounds like they're in for a wild ride.
Imagine the chaos of navigating a kitchen full of goblins, orcs, and bugbears, all frantically preparing for a feast fit for a horde of monsters.
Oh my gosh.
It's a classic example of how this module encourages creative thinking and adaptability. There's no set path, no predetermined outcome.
Okay.
It's all about embracing the unexpected and seeing where the story takes you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sold. What kind of culinary chaos awaits our hapless heroes on this level?
Well, for starters, they might be tasked with sorting garbage, which in this case includes everything from rotting meat to broken weapons to the occasional severed limb.
Delightful.
Or they might be asked to deliver dishes to various parts of the kitchen,
Okay.
dodging overzealous orcs and trying not to spill anything on the notoriously short-tempered bugbear chef.
Oh, that does not sound fun.
Yeah, sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It does.
And if they make a mistake,
Yeah.
well, let's just say the swill pit isn't known for its 5-star accommodations.
Yikes. Okay, so we got garbage, sorting,
Uh-huh.
dish delivery,
Yep.
and the ever-present threat of the swill pit.
That's right.
Any specific encounters that stand out on this level?
Well, there's a rather memorable encounter with a flesh golem in Area 1.
A flesh golem. Sounds terrifying.
It is. It's guarding the entrance to the kitchen, and it's supposed to ask for a password,
Okay.
but no one ever thought one up.
Oh, so what happens when the players approach?
The module suggests having the golem awkwardly ask the players if they know the password,
Okay.
even offering to let them make one up on the spot.
So it breaks the fourth wall a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's those little touches of humor that make Castle Greyhawk so much fun.
Yeah.
It's not just about slaying monsters and collecting loot. It's
Yeah,
about embracing the absurd and finding the funny side of even the most dangerous situations.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, we've explored the banquet prep level. Where to next?
Let's head deeper into the culinary heart of this level,
Okay.
Golomagin's kitchen.
Golomagin's kitchen. Who is this Golomid and what makes his kitchen so special?
Golomagin was an eccentric chef, a real culinary wizard who pushed the boundaries of gastronomy.
Okay.
He saw food as an art form,
Okay.
a canvas for magical experimentation.
Interesting.
His kitchen is a testament to his ambition, a bizarre fusion of culinary and arcane traditions.
So it's not just a place to whip up a quick meal.
Oh, far from it. Imagine walking into a kitchen
Okay.
where bubbling cauldrons are filled with exotic ingredients, magical artifacts are used as cooking utensils,
All right.
and the air is thick with the aroma of strange and wondrous concoctions.
That sounds intense.
Yeah,
What kind of dishes did this Golomogan create?
the module doesn't give us any specific recipes,
Okay.
but it hints at dishes that could enhance strength, grant temporary flight,
Wow.
or even alter one's perception of reality.
So eating in Golomogan's kitchen was an adventure in itself.
Absolutely, but like all great experiments, Galamogan's culinary endeavors often went awry.
Oh, no.
His kitchen is littered with the remnants of failed experiments.
Okay.
Bizarre creatures that sprang from his attempts to fuse food and magic.
Okay, sounds dangerous.
And to make matters worse, the kitchen is now a dumping ground for defective monsters from the infamous random monster generator.
The random monster generator, you mentioned that earlier. What exactly is it?
It's a magical device that randomly generates monsters.
Okay.
Think of it as a prototype for those random encounter tables we use in 5th edition D&D.
So it's like a chaotic slot machine that spits out monsters instead of coins.
Exactly. And the defective monsters, the ones that don't quite meet the standards of the generator, are teleported to Galamogan's kitchen.
So the players could encounter anything from a gibbering mouther with a lisp to a gelatinous cube that's more wobbly than threatening.
Exactly. It creates a wonderfully unpredictable environment.
Yeah.
Where the players never know what you're going to encounter next.
Talk about keeping them on their toes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a kitchen filled with failed culinary experiments.
Yeah.
And a steady stream of defective monsters.
Right.
What other delights await our heroes in this chaotic culinary domain?
Well, let's talk about the kitchen staff.
Okay.
They're a motley crew of goblins, orcs, and bugbears, all under the command of a rather ambitious chef named Mentu.
Mentu. What's his story?
He's a bit of a schemer, convinced that he can control the random monster generator and use its creations to create an army of edible warriors.
Edible warriors. That's disturbing.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it speaks to the dark humor that permeates this module.
Right.
Okay, so Mentu is a power-hungry chef with a twisted culinary vision.
Yeah.
What else makes him a memorable character?
I don't know. Tell me.
His doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers. Now, that's a name I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
What are those?
Mentu has discovered a way to create duplicates of anyone who handles his special loaves of bread.
Oh, wow.
They're essentially doughy doppelgangers capable of mimicking the appearance and mannerisms of their originals.
Imagine the paranoia that could create in a 5th edition campaign.
Oh, yeah.
The players are never quite sure if the people they're interacting with are the real deal or just bread-based imposters.
Exactly. It adds a layer of intrigue and uncertainty to every interaction.
Okay, so we've got Mentu and his doughy duplicates. What other challenges await our heroes in this culinary crucible?
Well, they might encounter the great chefs.
Okay.
Galamogan's original cooks.
The great chefs. What makes them so great?
They were masters of their craft, pushing the boundaries of culinary magic.
Okay.
But years of experimentation have driven them mad.
Oh, no.
So they're like eccentric culinary geniuses.
Yeah.
But they're also incredibly dangerous. Their dishes are as likely to kill you as they are to satisfy your hunger.
That's scary.
Yeah. And when they discover Mentu's treachery, they flee the kitchen, hoping to warn the outside world about his plans.
So they become reluctant allies to the players.
Potentially. It all depends on how the players approach the situation.
Okay.
Do they trust these eccentric chefs? Do they believe their warnings about Mentu?
Yeah.
Or do they dismiss them as raving lunatics?
Sounds like a great opportunity for role-playing and moral dilemmas.
For sure.
Okay, what else is cooking in Galamogan's kitchen?
Well, there's a rather memorable encounter with a lemonade geyser in Area 16.
A lemonade geyser? That doesn't sound too threatening.
It's not at first.
Okay.
But imagine the chaos as the kitchen floods with lemonade, the players frantically searching for a way to stop the flow.
Okay.
While dodging sticky puddles and slippery surfaces.
No, that does not sound good.
And just when they think things can't get any worse, they're attacked by flying pies.
Flying pies? Seriously?
Seriously, it's a classic example of the module's absurdist humor.
Wow. Okay, I'm starting to think this kitchen is more dangerous than any dungeon I've ever encountered.
Well, it wouldn't be a proper D&D dungeon without a few edible hazards.
Speaking of edible hazards, what about that gingerbread man you mentioned earlier?
Ah, yes. He's found in Area 18, and he's not as harmless as he looks.
So he's not just a sweet treat for the players to snack on?
Not at all. He's a powerful and surprisingly resilient creature, a product of the same experiments that created Poppinfarsh.
Poppinfarsh. Remind me who that is again.
He's the sentient cookie companion who's been helping the players navigate the kitchen.
Oh.
He's a quirky and endearing character, always eager to help, even if his advice is sometimes a little off.
So he's like a walking, talking fortune cookie.
In a way, yes. But he's also a reminder that even in the darkest of dungeons, there can be glimmers of innocence and wonder.
I like that. Okay, so we've got a lemonade geyser, flying pies,
Yeah.
a battle-hardened gingerbread man,
Right.
and a cookie companion.
That's right.
What else is on the menu in this culinary carnival of chaos?
Well, there's Galamogan's tomb in Area 19.
His tomb. In the middle of his kitchen. That seems like an odd place to be buried.
It is, isn't it? But remember, this is Galmogan we're talking about. He was a man who defied convention even in death.
So what's so special about his tomb?
It's a surprisingly peaceful and contemplative space. A stark contrast to the chaos of the surrounding kitchen.
So it's a moment of respite for the players.
Exactly. And if Poppinfarsh is with them, he'll even offer a toast to his creator, reminiscing about the old wizard's love of fine wine.
That's a nice touch. Okay, we've explored Galmogan's kitchen with its edible hazards, quirky characters, and culinary chaos.
We have?
Where does the adventure take us next?
Let's ascend to the upper levels of the castle.
Okay.
Where we encounter the true mastermind behind this culinary madness,
Right.
General Public.
General Public. Who is this enigmatic figure?
He's an ogre mage of immense power.
Okay.
The tyrannical ruler of the castle's upper levels, and he has a rather peculiar appetite.
Peculiar how?
He craves a dish called sympathy,
Okay.
a bizarre concoction made from shredded paper sawdust and, most disturbingly, player characters.
Player characters, as in the adventurers.
Precisely, and it's meant to, with his control over the random monster generator and his ambition to create an army of edible warriors who's supplying General Public with the key ingredient for this horrific dish.
So Mentu's culinary machinations are just a small part of a much larger and more sinister scheme.
Exactly, and it's up to the players to uncover the truth. To navigate this web of culinary chaos and confront the forces that threaten to consume them.
Sounds like an epic showdown is brewing. But before we delve into the upper levels and face the wrath of General Public,
Okay.
let's take a break.
Hold on to your hats, adventurers, because this deep dive is just getting started.
I don't know, right?
We've explored the depths of Xando's dungeon,
We have.
navigated the chaotic kitchen,
Uh-huh.
and encountered gummy warbears, flying pies, and a gingerbread man who's tougher than he looks.
Yeah, he is.
But the adventure continues.
Yes, it does.
We're about to ascend to the upper levels of Castle Greyhawk, where General Public awaits with his monstrous appetite and sinister plans.
Uh-oh.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss a moment of the action.
Good advice.
And if you have any thoughts or questions about this classic module, leave a comment below.
We'd love to hear from you.
We love hearing from our fellow adventurers.
Yes.
And of course, check the video description for a link to a PDF of the book.
It's down there.
Now back to the show.
Okay, so we are leaving the culinary chaos of the kitchen behind
Where?
and heading into the upper levels of the castle.
Yep.
What should we be bracing ourselves for?
Well, the module describes these levels as a reflection of General Public's personality.
Okay.
Prepare yourself for a wild mix of bureaucratic nightmares, strange encounters,
Okay.
and a healthy dose of metagaming humor.
Metagaming humor. I'm not sure I understand.
Think fourth wall breaking jokes, references to other gaming systems,
Okay.
encounters that poke fun at the conventions of classic D&D.
Okay, you've officially piqued my curiosity. Give me an example.
Imagine your players encountering a group of monsters who are obsessed with collecting dice,
Okay.
or a dungeon master character who keeps trying to insert himself into the game.
Okay.
It's that kind of self-aware humor that makes this module so unique.
So it's like the module is winking at the players, acknowledging the artificiality of the game world.
Exactly. It's a playful way of breaking down the barriers between the players and the game itself.
I can see how that would appeal to certain players.
Yeah.
Those who appreciate a bit of meta humor.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got bureaucratic nightmares,
Right.
strange encounters,
Uh-huh.
and metagaming humor.
Yep.
Anything else we should be prepared for?
Well, we haven't even talked about General Public himself.
Right.
He's a fascinating character.
Right?
An ogre mage with a taste for sympathy
Uh-huh.
and a penchant for control.
We touched on that earlier,
We did.
but I'm still not clear on what motivates him.
Okay.
Why is he so obsessed with this sympathy dish?
Yeah.
And what's his endgame?
Excellent questions.
Thank you.
The module offers some clues,
Okay.
but it ultimately leaves much of his backstory and motivations up to the DM.
So we have to fill in the blanks ourselves.
Exactly, which is one of the things that makes this module so much fun to run.
Okay.
It's a sandbox of possibilities where the DM has the freedom to create their own interpretation of General Public and his sinister agenda.
Okay, I'm game for a little creative interpretation.
Yeah.
But give me something to work with here.
Right.
What do we know for sure about General Public?
We know he's an ogre mage of immense power. We know he craves sympathy,
Mm-hmm.
a dish made from shredded paper sawdust,
Okay.
and most disturbingly player characters.
Right.
And we know he's a master manipulator,
Okay.
pulling strings from behind the scenes
Okay.
and using others to achieve his goals.
So he's like a puppet master,
Yeah,
orchestrating the events of the game without ever directly revealing himself.
exactly. He's the ultimate antagonist, the force that the players must ultimately confront if they want to escape the castle and its culinary horrors.
Okay, so General Public is the big, bad, evil guy.
Yep.
But who are his minions?
Yeah.
Who's helping him carry out his sinister plans?
Well, we've already met Mentu, the ambitious chef, who's supplying General Public with sympathy. But there's another key player in this culinary conspiracy, Colonel Sandpaper.
Colonel Sandpaper, what a name. What's his role in all of this?
He's a ruthless entrepreneur who has built his fortune on supplying General Public's culinary demands.
Okay.
He runs a vast and bizarre operation that spans multiple levels of the castle,
Okay.
employing a strange mix of monsters, magical creatures, and unfortunate souls who have fallen under his sway.
Sounds like a classic villainous enterprise.
It is?
What kind of operation are we talking about here? Is he running a sweatshop?
No.
A black market? A puppy mill?
Think of it more like a bizarre factory that processes everything from paper and sawdust to, well, let's just say there are rumors of sentient creatures being ground up for General Public sympathy.
That's dark.
It is, but it's also incredibly imaginative. The module gives us glimpses into Colonel Sandpaper's operation, with encounters involving lemon lime, soft drink elementals, swamp water elementals, and even a group of countertop rebels fighting against his tyranny.
Countertop rebels? You're kidding, right?
I assure you it's all in the module.
Wow.
These rebels are a group of animated kitchen surfaces, driven by a primal connection to nature and a hatred for Colonel Sandpaper's exploitative practices.
Wow, just when I thought this module couldn't get any weirder, it throws countertop rebels at me. Okay, so we got General Public pulling the strings, Mentu cooking up trouble in the kitchen,
Yep.
and Colonel Sandpaper running a sinister sympathy factory with rebellious countertops.
That's right.
Who else is involved in this twisted tale?
Oh, there's one more faction we need to mention. The Prophets.
The Prophets, who are they?
They're a mysterious organization that represents the forces of order and civilization in this chaotic world.
So they're like the good guys.
Not necessarily. They have a tenuous alliance with Colonel Sandpaper,
Okay.
but they're also wary of his ambitions.
Okay.
And they're definitely not on the player's side.
So it's a three-way power struggle between General Public,
Yeah.
Colonel Sandpaper, and the Prophets.
Essentially, yes. And caught in the middle are the player characters forced to navigate this complex web of alliances and betrayals as they try to escape the castle and its culinary horrors.
It's like a D&D version of a political thriller?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we've got the players stuck in the middle of this power struggle.
Right.
What are their options? How do they even begin to unravel this conspiracy and defeat General Public?
That's the beauty of this module.
Okay.
It offers no easy answers, no predetermined paths to victory.
Okay.
It's a sandbox of possibilities where the player's choices determine the outcome of the story.
So there's no right or wrong way to play it.
Exactly. The players might choose to side with one of the factions, play them against each other,
Okay.
or try to forge their own path.
Yeah.
It's all about creativity, adaptability,
Okay.
and a willingness to embrace the unexpected.
Okay. I'm starting to see why this module is considered a classic.
Yeah,
It's not just a dungeon crawl. It's a social experiment, a political thriller,
right.
and a metagaming comedy all rolled into one.
And we haven't even scratched the surface of all the bizarre encounters and memorable characters that populate this module.
Really?
There's the doggone pool,
Okay.
the singing trolls,
Oh, wow.
the ghost with a penchant for soap.
Oh,
The list goes on.
it sounds like there's enough material here for multiple campaigns.
Absolutely. Castle
Yeah.
Greyhawk is a world unto itself, a testament to the power of imagination and the enduring appeal of classic D&D.
Well said. This has been an incredible journey. But before we bid farewell to Castle Greyhawk,
Okay.
Alex, what final words of wisdom do you have for our listeners?
Adventurers, we've explored the kitchens, met some truly unforgettable characters, and uncovered the sinister plans of General Public. But the adventure doesn't end here. Castle Greyhawk is a world unto itself, filled with endless possibilities. So grab your dice, gather your party, and explore. Share your stories, create your own encounters, and let your imagination run wild. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives into the world of D&D. Until next time, may your rolls be ever in your favor.
And may your sympathy always be store-bought. Until next time, adventurers, happy gaming.